1v1 Calderis Refinery, blue side. First up is Whitehead 1981, plays a Grey Knight Brother Captain durable commander that walks through cover and cannot be suppressed. Very good offense and support fights in melee combat. It's not very grey though, there should become some kind of rule. Got to use the Grey Knight scheme if you play Grey Knights. Up against on the red side is Nick, plays a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and destructive commander, lots of manipulation and general annoyance with his spells. This is Wordbearer's DLC. He's got double heretics. Whitehead has a strike squad, heavy infantry, good both melee and range combat. Storm bolters and halberds. Has his starting stormtrooper squad, of course, with their hellguns, very decent DPS, and now have their mines, of course, which I have not seen much people use. They seem a bit expensive to me. 15 power for a mine, which will be obviously countered by all detectors and doesn't do any damage, just knockback and suppression, but we'll see. Maybe someone has a good way to use them. Chaos Space Marines on the field for Nick as well. Heavy infantry, also good melee and range combat. Not quite as good as Strat Squad in melee though. Strat Squad have a awesome special attack. Chaos Space Marines do not. Here's some Tzeentch worship. Brother Captain being annoying. He's very fat and very slow and needs to retreat out of there. Slowest commander in the game at just 4 speed. For comparison's sake, the Chaos Lord and Hive Tyrant are 4.5, but he does have We Are the Hammer, of course, which is one of the best starting abilities, I think. He's chaining that Tzeentch worship quite nicely. Are we going to see a Purgation squad from Whitehead? He's got another Stormtrooper squad right now. Pretty popular build for Grey Knights. Strat squad into some more Stormtroopers, and we see Strat squad mixing it up in melee combat, tanking damage, but they're having to tank heretics and CSM alongside that sorcerer, but they do get away with 2 models. 83 requisition to reinforce these guys. They're 500 rec out the gate. These stormtroopers now have their sergeant, takes them up to 6 models, and they become a detector, which will help a lot versus that Tzeentch worship. Sorcerers being annoying though, chasing them down. Doom bolts doesn't quite hit. More stormtroopers shooting them up, and look at the DPS they're putting out. It's quite nice. Good special attack from the sorcerer, very quick animation, and 360 knockback. Brother Captain now back out. We might see him wait tier 2 to get the Nemesis Force Halberd or the Demon Hammer. Center is red. Chaos Space Marines are idle. Double heretics with an aspiring champion on one squad now. There he is, a Chaos Marine with bolt pistol and chainsword. Turns them into a pretty nasty little melee unit that can doom blast, and very hard counter to other melee squads in tier 1. The Strat squad are not really going to want to fight those guys. They can win that engagement with special attacks as the heretics run in, but it's a risk. And if they just kill one Strat squad model, that's 83 rec of reinforcing. But heretics are only 13 requisition to reinforce. That's why they're so weak when they come out of the HQ in this 8 model state that they have. 464, 465, just 600 hit points across 8 models. They can die very fast. No sign of war gear for either commander yet. 456, 465. Purified blades maybe, to try and get some passive knockback on these heretics that go after the Brother Captain. Can also drain energy from the sorcerer with it, so wouldn't it be a terrible idea? Raptors on the way for Nick. That could be quite annoying, but you're setting up some halberd demolishing in tier 2. Halberd just slices through heavy infantry, and if Raptor's jumping, you can counter initiate with your Brother Captain. No 4th unit for Whitehead yet. He's got grenade launchers for one of his stormtroopers though, which could be nasty to those heretics. CSM shooting their bolters at those Strat squad who got a bit close, and here's the Brother Captain. He's all alone. There is We Are the Hammer, did not affect the Strat squad though, they weren't quite close enough. We Are the Hammer boosts his speed and gives him some damage resistance. He can improve that ability by purchasing the Nemesis Full Sword Strat squad. Get absolutely owned by those aspiring champion heretics, good grief. And now they're in amongst some stormtroopers. 445, 446 is evened up on the VPs, but Nick putting a lot of pressure on and now has Raptors on the field jump squad that suppress enemies when they land, bolt pistol and chainsword, and some very decent DPS as well. 445, 437, 2-to-1 cap for Whitehead, but not for long. Raptors are capping mid, and these guys should be shooting up these generators. These Chaos Space Marines are idle, and Nick goes tier 2. Got double Heretics and CSM and Raptors. I went tier 2 first. Not bad. Strike Squad healing up at base alongside the brother captain. He's been isolated pretty much every time he's engaged. 445, 427, 1-to-1 cap. CSM did not take down another generator. Chaos Sorcerer is now capping mid and finishes the cap for a 2-to-1 for Nick. And he's halfway to tier 2. Could get a Blood Crusher and make this very painful for Whitehead. 439, 427. Brother Captain and Strat Squad making their way out of base. Double Stormtroopers waiting to engage. There's those grenade launchers. Pretty nasty in the hands of the Stormtroopers. They have a very quick flight time with their barrage, much quicker than the Heretics grenade launchers. Can use it a lot more effectively to deal with melee squads as they run in, and this is going to be an important engagement. I think Stormtroopers in retreat, those guys need to turn to engage. Here come the double Heretics, Brother Captain going straight after those Raptors with his 26 or so DPS power weapon that he starts with. Still level 1, Chaos Sorcerer level 2, and has gone for the Rod of Warp Fire. Warp Fire will be painful for those Stormtroopers, especially if they're blobbed up. There's some Siege Worship infiltrating the Chaos units, providing them the 20% range damage resistance that you get when you're infiltrated. Even if you're revealed, infiltration is still useful. He's chasing all the way into base here, trying to finish off the Strat Squad, and there's the Dark Flames. Global ability of the Chaos Sorcerer, but he should survive with the 50% resistance while you're at your HQ, and does so. So that was a wasted global, and that is, I think it's 125 red or 150 red. Look at the map control for Nick. Perhaps should have spread out his Heretics there and tried to cap up some stuff. Look at this, he's got a sneaky gen farm going here. Whitehead has one generator up and still has 2 here. That could have been a lot worse if Nick spread out there. Got a bit too gung-ho, wasted a global, and we're going to see things turn. He's into tier 2, no sign of the Halberd, which is 150 rec, 50 power. He's saving for a Dreadnought surely. 372, 427, and Nick is going to struggle to deal with that with his current lineup. He's probably going to respond immediately with some Havocs if he does get a Dreadnought. There's nothing else he could be doing unless he's trying to go to tier 3, which would be crazy. 364, 427, here is the Grey Knight Dreadnought on the way, 500 rec, 120 power, and it's going to cause havoc. I'd go for the melee upgrade to really put pressure on those Raptors and those double Heretics. We'll see. Also gives you the awesome Maelstrom. The Grey Knight Dreadnought begins with a Multi-Melter, which is a fantastic close range weapon. Will disintegrate pretty much all infantry and heavily damaged vehicles as well. 363, 421. Raptors jumping into those Stormtroopers. Stormtroopers do not want to fight them at all. Grenade barrage goes in but doesn't do a whole lot. Whitehead has retaken the map, and Grey Knight Dreadnought is out. Those guys in retreat, these guys on the west side sneaking around. 363, 410. Here is the Grey Knight Dreadnought with the Multi-Melter on the right arm there. Also has that very mean looking close combat weapon. I'm not sure what that's called, or if it even has a name. 363, 403. Brother Captain going after the Sorcerer. He's gone for Mark of Tzeentch on his Chaos Space Marines, and I think that's a mistake because now he has a Dreadnought to deal with. He still has the resources, so it's not too bad. Also has Aspiring Champion on his guys and Eternal War, so these are fully upgraded Chaos Space Marines, and they are very, very nasty from range. 363, 389. Look at that Multi-Melter shot exploding that Raptor, literally. Now he knows it's there, and here are the Havocs in response. Most likely a las cannon, but he could go double Havocs and get double auto cannons, which is nasty. Heretics in their default state, blowing up a node. Look how much XP that gave them, and they're going to try and steal it here. Grey Knight Dreadnought attacking These Heretics does not do splash damage because it has a ranged weapon with that multi-melter. Still a lot of damage, but it's all single target when you have a ranged weapon on your Dreadnought. 356, 384, Heretics capping. Whitehead now has the Nemesis Demon Hammer, 100 DPS melee. As you can see, it's painful. Demolishing Strike. I do think the Nemesis Halberd is a better choice in a lot of scenarios. It is a toss-up though, it depends how much stuff you have in support. Demolishing Strike is not all that helpful if you don't have a bunch of stuff around to kill stuff while it's flying through the air and on the ground. Otherwise, Halberd just does so much DPS, especially if you're against Tyranid Warriors in a big melee blob. Perhaps the Demon Hammer better against Knobs with the disruption, though the Halberd would also do a lot of damage to those guys, so it's a bit of a toss-up. He's gone for the hammer, we'll see how it does for him. He also has Plasma Gun Stormtroopers now, which could change things a lot, because this now has Overcharge, as you see there, Overcharge Plasma, which is some nice extra disruption for the Grey Knights. It's actually really good. Lascannon gets 3 hits on the Dreadnought before he pulls it back, and he has gone for the Dreadnought Claw, the melee upgrade, giving it 2 close combat weapons and the awesome Maelstrom ability. Strike Squad moving in. He's gone for the Nemesis Focus, taking him up to 17-19 hit points and the Justicar, but that was crazy. Pretty much just sent them in by themselves. You see the Demolishing Strike. Very good disruption, but you've got to follow it up, and he had nothing to follow it up there. Stormtroopers busy repairing, and this brother captain's in danger of going down. Raptors in retreat path, Heretics chasing, and he does go down. 346, 344, 2-to-1 cap for blue. Tier 3 for Nick. Havocs are running away, but they can reinforce back at base, and Nick has stolen this power. Grey Knight Dreadnought being double repaired, Raptors jumping in, and it also gives you the Emperor's Fist, which you just saw there, which is damage, knockback and stun. It did not knock back those Raptors because they just landed. When a jump squad just lands, it has some knockback immunity for a few seconds. He also activated Maelstrom, which was a waste. 346, 324. Tier 3 for Nick, he hits it. 2-to-1 cap for Whitehead. I still think Nick has the edge with these Havocs around. He did lose a Heretic squad, but that's no big deal. Still has the Aspiring Champion squad, which are now level 2. And are still more than a match, I think, for these Nemesis Focus Strike Squad. If they're isolated with them, the Strike Squad will most likely take them down, but with support, Heretics are still awesome into tier 2. 346, 316. Whitehead's capping mid. Nick can get a Chaos Predator pretty damn soon, which would be good. Get Markov Khorne on it, or maybe Markov Tzeentch to try and put extra pressure on this Dreadnought. I'd go Markov Khorne though. He still has this Havoc Lascannon and that sneaky Tzeentch infiltration. 346, 311. Do we have sergeants on both the Stormtrooper squads? We don't. Grenade Launcher squad still without sergeant. The Plasma squad does have a sergeant though. The brother captain now has Blessed Aegis, very solid armor choice, cheap and cheerful, extra health regen, nothing to complain about, and he's going for the teleporter pack now, which is an important choice. So you can teleport onto that Havoc squad and instantly demolish and strike it all over the place, which will greatly help out his Dreadnought in coming engagements. But a Chaos Predator is on the way, and once he realizes the brother captain has the teleporter pack, it's gonna steer him towards that Markov Tzeentch upgrade, I think. So he's got Markov Tzeentch CSM and Markov Tzeentch Havocs. Very themed army on the field for Nick. Laz kind of setting up with that huge firing arc, as you can see there. Very effective versus vehicles, lots of damage and a snare, but has trouble hitting infantry. Does a lot of damage to infantry obviously if it hits them, but doesn't have a big chance of that, especially this regular small infantry. And Nick is going to come and defend, or at least try to. A bit static there in the middle. 332, 293. Whitehead is the one pushing the game now and making Nick react. There is the Maelstrom, draining health from these Raptors and debuffing their speed, and there's that painful heavy melee splash as he goes in, And we do have a Mark of each Predator. Look at the shots on that Dreadnought. A twin glass cannon on top, and that is pain. Where are those Havocs that forced off? Now the Dreadnought has got close. You can shoot your tank at point blank range like that, but this is very risky, and he just about takes out the Dreadnought. Wow, that was so close. One more hit would have gone down. That's an oversight from Nick, but he's lost his Heretics now. Sorcerer does get away, he's level 4. Whitehead in tier 3 has double Stormtroopers and this Strike Squad who did very well there. They lost their Justicar but stood up to some punishment. Level 2 now. Gonna come and cap mid. These guys do not get the 50% cap speed buff that Tactical Marines have. Where's this brother captain up to? Is he just gonna see what's going on? He's gonna try and take out the Predator, is he? No way. No, he's out. Very long retreat back for him. He's level 4, fully upgraded with Teleport Pack, Blessed Aegis, and that Nemesis Demon Hammer. 286, 293. Stormtroopers trying to decap, and they have. Now he needs to run these guys out. Gonna lose a squad if he's not careful. Now he retreats, but way too late. But they're gonna escape unless this Sorcerer can turn around and smack him. Gonna try it. No, he's not. Strike Squad scaring him off, and they capped mid, so good job for them. Predator tank needs repairs badly, but his Heretics are down. He needs to replace them now, otherwise his Predator tank is pretty much useless. And look at the map for Whitehead. Nick just way too static at the end of tier 2 going into tier 3. Basically camped mid. Whitehead flanked around, went after the power. Nick responded and didn't have a very good engagement. These guys are idle. Units will no longer automatically attack a power node, since it caused some problems with setup teams not shooting exactly what he wanted. Also tanks and stuff changing targets as they moved. Doom Bolts is dodged. Are we going to see a warp fire afterwards? No, he runs away. 286, 247. Predator tank is now being repaired by Heretics. Whitehead can pretty much purchase whatever he wants, and he goes for some Paladins down to 650, 150 now in 2.2. They were 700, 200, which was pretty damn expensive. A lot more viable now, I think. 286, 247, CSM stealing this power again. Brother Captain's going to come and have a word. He's not too happy. Going to teleport on their faces. There we go. And Demolishing Strike as well knocks them off the cap. Look at the knockback strength of that. 286, 238. Can he take a model out? Yes, he can. It's not power melee, but normal melee damage still does full to heavy armor, so still very much hurts Marines. 286, 230. Raptors have done reasonably well, level 2. Thought they were going to struggle with the Dreadnought and the Brother Captain around, but the Dreadnought was dealt with by this Predator, which is now on the field again, not fully repaired. Boom, but still pretty good. 286, 219. Whitehead has Paladins on the field, Terminator variant with heavy melee Nemesis Demon Hammers. These guys will tear through everything, and they also have a passive buff, increased damage and increased damage resistance, and unlike the Terminator buff, you don't need to kill something to get it. It's always there. Ouch. Havoc's trying to hit power, get whacked out by a Strike Squad. Oversight from Nick. I didn't even notice it going down. 286, 196. Some Zeech worship. Brother Captain stealing Nick's VP here. 286, 187. Teleporting into the CSM. Well, the Brother Captain has done very well in this game. Level 4. He's been a constant menace ever since he got that Demon Hammer, and this is going to be an important engagement. Paladins moving in on the Heretics, who need to break that worship and run away. No, they're worshipping again. Strike Squad with some nice special attacks on the Raptors. This is a pretty cool fight. There's a warp fight helping out the Raptors though. Ouch, they lost the model. But here come Paladins to help them out, and they of course are constantly giving them that buff, which allowed them to stand up to the Raptors very well there, even though the Raptors had that lightning claw. Boom. Can they finish them off? Very nearly did. 11 hit points. And these guys do have a ranged weapon. They have storm bolters, and in fact he's purchased the Psy Cannon for them. 286153. Now they're in trouble. Terminator variants cannot retreat, so you just need to walk back to base. They can teleport, but they probably already used it if they're not using it now. 286141. And that las cannon is really hurting them. And look at this in behind the Predator tank. We have Chaos Terminators with lightning claws. 70 power melee with a power melee splash. Rip through all infantry very, very hard. 286117. Good things that Paladins back the hell off. That's a pretty strong counter for Paladins. Paladins do have more hit points, 5250 compared to 4500 for these guys, but they will beat them down with those lightning claws. What's going on here? Stormtroopers hitting gens. Whitehead done a good job splitting these guys up in tier 2 onwards. I think there's that very quick grenade barrage that he could use to make melee squads think twice, but he's still moving them in here. Stormtroopers level to 3, and they're going to take them out in melee combat. Yes, they are. Chaos Terminators back away. There we go. 278109. They will also tear apart this brother captain. Incidentally, he's gonna struggle to deal with them. I think he's going for Grey Knight Terminators. Maybe not. 271109. How many Terminators do you want in this game? Brother captain runs away. So now, with the Paladin buff right there, and perhaps a We Are the Hammer buff as well, those Chaos Terminators are toast thanks to these Grey Knight Terminators. But can he get out and just make all of that engagement work?
We're losing a power node to the enemy.
Oftentimes you'll have everything you need to counter your opponent, but you can't just bring it together when you need to. Stormtroopers running for their lives, and they get away fine. Paladins need to reinforce. And look at this. I'm not sure if this is an oversight or not, but Paladins only cost 25 power to reinforce, even though they cost 150 power to produce. Normal Terminators cost 50 power. I say normal, I mean Terminators that come from a global bar, such as these Chaos Terminators, and also Space Marine Terminators. Both cost 50 power each to reinforce, and I'm not sure why these guys are a full half the cost of power. I'm not sure. 205109. Must be a reason. Brother Captain's level 5, almost level 6. And he needs to manage this Predator very well, because he's got 2 Terminator variants to take down. The Grey Knight Terminators have Nemesis Force Halberds, which are splash damage, power melee, not quite as decimating as Lightning Claws that those Chaos Terminators have, but still very, very painful. And these guys also passively drain energy. They can also get the sidearm that Paladins can get, either a Psy Cannon or an Incinerator, which is very useful. 154109. Chaos Terminators teleporting out and backing away. Paladins going after the tank, getting rear armor hits. And that is not good. Really not good. He's having trouble controlling this thing. Does he get it out? No, he doesn't. He teleported it away and it still died. That was a teleportation from the Chaos Sorcerer Global, and he's confused. Basically, yeah, if a melee attack is animation starts to play, it will hit no matter where the unit goes. It will track whatever it decided to attack wherever it goes. That's why you sometimes see jump units dying in mid-air from a melee attack before they jumped. 143109. Chaos Terminators backing away, and that might have finished Nick right there. Just took slightly too long to teleport it out. And these Grey Knight Terminators are not giving up this fight. They cannot be suppressed, of course, by these base turrets. Not that bothered. Dark Flames trying to help out. Marco Jinx CSM doing a lot of damage, but he's going to stay in. No! Grey Knight, the Chaos Terminators rather reinforced off of the base. 14395. There's an orbital. Double cap for Whitehead. Drops it right on the CSM and also gets the Terminators and the Sorcerer in it. How much damage is it going to do to these CSM? Wow, a lot. And at level 4. 14375. Nicely done by Whitehead. He's cap mid. He's going to get his natural back, and he has Nick's natural. It's going to be a triple and it's going to be game. 143, 63. That warp coming slightly too late from that Predator tank. Dying in its own base from a melee attack. That wasn't a bug. That was just because something attacked just before it was teleported out. And that attack was completed. Florida Captain runs away. And there's the triple cap. That should be it. 143, 40. Still has Paladins. His Grey Knight Terminator is just about getting away with a single model. Yeah, no way Nick can come back now. He's got no requisition to buy anything, even if he had the time. There's a triple. Paladin's going to now smack on this Sorcerer, who's level 5, very nearly level 6. Level 4, Marco Zinc CSM now in trouble. And here come Chaos Terminators for a last hurrah before the game ends. They did take out a Paladin right at the end there. And there it is. Terminator variants all over the place. You had Paladins, Grey Knight Terminators, and Chaos Terminators. Nick, just his micro letting them down in a couple of vital places in this defense of this power harass. He left his Predator tank in that engagement with the Dreadnought way too long. Also lost his Heretics in this fight. Did take down the Dreadnought though, and just there getting the Predator tank out slightly too late cost him big. Might have been over then already in a way. We did have Paladins and Grey Knight Terminators on the field. Look at the commanders. Level 7 Brother Captain did quite well, and a level 6 Sorcerer also did reasonably well with the Warp Fire. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.